Picasso! How are all of you? I'm doing really well. Thanks for asking. Today, we are going to do a spring activity. Now, when I think of spring, I think of flowers and trees blooming and butterflies and insects and all sorts of cool stuff. So today, I thought that we would do a simple butterfly craft. So here are some things that you will need. This is what we're going to make, something that looks kind of like this. So here are the things that you're going to need. If you have colored paper, that would be wonderful. If not, you can use white paper like I did on my example. If you have some colored pencils, you might want to use those. Maybe some crayons, a glue stick, if you have it, colored paper scraps that I found, maybe some pens, some scissors, and I found a piece of straw that I could use as an antenna. The antennas go on the butterfly right here. Now, on my example, you can see I did not use a straw. So if you don't have a straw, don't worry about it. You can use paper just like these guys. All right. Now, I wanted to talk to you really quickly about shapes. Do you remember when we did shapes? You did some with Sylvia and you've done some with me. Now, butterflies have lots of different kinds of shapes on them, and you can kind of make up whatever you want. The important thing is that butterflies are symmetrical. That means butterflies have the same thing on one wing as they do on the other wing. They look kind of like this. Here's a great example of a butterfly. Now you can see that both sides are the same, but you can make up whatever shape you guys want to put on there. So to start our butterfly, let's just review. Here's some ideas. Triangle, squares. Now they don't have to be black. These are just the shapes I had from the last time. Circles, we could do some circles. We could put some ovals on there. We could even put some triangles. Now these are just some ideas. We can experiment and we can add things as we go. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna use something to write with, either a crayon or a pencil or a pen, whatever you prefer. I'm gonna use a pen and a butterfly. You're gonna fold the paper in half and you're gonna make sure that the center of the paper is here on your left hand, because when we go to cut it and you open it up, you wanna have two sides that are attached like this. So let me show you. Make sure the fold is here, put your hand on it, and then with your writing hand, you're gonna draw the butterfly wings, but we're only drawing half. I'll show you. So you're gonna go something like this, big wing, and then a little wing on the bottom. Now, do you see how my fold is like that? If you did it backwards, you're gonna end up with two separate pieces of paper. So you want the fold to be here. Now, I'm gonna take my scissors and I'm gonna cut out the shape that I just drew. If you wanna make your wings with more of a point, you can do it. If you wanna make them bigger or even smaller, you can make up any kind of butterfly that you like. All right, so here is what it looks like. Now, when I open it up, I have one piece of paper all together. All right? Now, what we talked about with them being symmetrical, like my example, do you notice how I did this kind of, not really an oval, but I did this shape here. I do the same over here. I did the green over here. I did the green over here. So anything you do to one side, you do to the other side. So for example, let's say I want to do a zigzag shape. So I start here, and I'll put a dot on that side so I remember where to start. And I could go zigzag like this. Now, on this side, I'm going to try to do the exact same shape. If it's not perfect, it's okay, but do you see more or less they're the same? Now, let's see what other kind of shapes. Maybe I'll do a triangle shape. Now I need to do it over here. If it's a triangle shape, I'm going to try and do the same one there. Now, maybe even you can do some dots. A lot of butterflies have cool dots. So I'm going to do 3 dots on one side, and I'm going to do 3 dots on the other side. So do you see how you could get really, really creative with doing this any kind of way you want? Now here's where the scraps come in. I decided to do mine in pen, but if you have some colored scraps at home, you can even add those. For example, I just want them to be the same size. So I folded it over, and I'm going to fold it in half to make sure they're the same, and then I'm going to cut it. So now I have 2 shapes that are identical. So if you want to do it like this and cut out some colored shapes, you could add a little glue and you could put them right on. Something like that. You could even, if you want to get really creative, fold a piece of paper in half and make maybe a triangle. Now, if I open it up, I have 1 shape. But if I cut it right in half, I have 2 identical shapes. And you know what I'm going to do with those? I'm going to put them right inside the other triangle. Like this. Oops, I squashed it. How about that? So, use your imagination and decide how you want to design your butterfly. Now what we're going to do, if you have a piece of scrap paper, we can do the body with the scrap paper. If you don't, I'll show you what you do. If you don't have that paper, you take a pen and you draw a body and then you color it in. So you could leave it like this if you don't have any scraps of paper, or if you do have a scrap of paper, you can measure how long you need it and cut it, and then you can glue on your body. So either like this or like this. Either way is just fine. Now, if you have your scrap from your piece of paper that you use to cut out the butterfly, you could do the antennas with this, or if you have a different color like I do, then I'm going to do my antennas like this. Or if you have a straw even, you could cut the straw in half and you could attach the antennas with a straw, a pipe cleaner, or anything else you can find. For this, I'm going to slice this in half, and I'm just going to attach the antenna right here on the top. Can you guys say antenna? Good. Antenna. That's what goes on the top of the butterfly. And you can even, if you want, put a little dot up there and a little bit of dot right there. So this is more or less what yours might look like. Be creative, add lots of different designs, and remember, symmetrical. Can you guys say symmetrical? That's a hard one. But that's what a butterfly is. It almost looks like you folded it together and it came out identical on both sides. It's balanced. Okay? I hope you enjoyed our butterfly craft, and I hope you have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll see you next time. See you guys later. Bye, Picasso.